I've never met you, Ruby, so how do you do?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Ruby is, well, you, of course, were a charter member, as was Mike. But Ruby's been around ever since Leilani was around.
Okay.
And so that's good. Okay, let me give you a bit of fanfare, maybe.
Nay, but this dotage of our generals o'erflows the measure. Those goodly eyes that o'er the files and musters of war have glowed like plated Mars. Now bend, now turn the office and devotion of their view into a tawny front. This captain's heart, which in the scuffles of great fights hath burst the buckles on his breast, reneges all temper, and becomes the bellows and fan to cool a gypsy's lust. Look where they come. Take but good note. You shall see in him the triple pillar of the world transformed into a strumpet's fool. Behold and see.
If it be love indeed, tell me how much.
Well, there's biggery in the love that can be reckoned.
All set of born, how far to be beloved.
Then must thou needs find a new heaven and new earth.
Who's my good lord from Rome?
Great me the sum.
Nay, hear them, Antony. Fulvia, perchance, is angry, or who knows if the scarce-spirited Caesar have not sent his powerful mandate to you. Do this or this. Take in that kingdom and enfranchise that. Perform it, or else we damn thee.
Ah, how, my love?
Perchance, nay, and most like. You must not stay here longer. Your dismission is come from Caesar. Therefore hear it. Antony, where's Fulvia's process? Caesar's, I would say, both. Call in the messengers. As I am Egypt's queen, thou blushest, Antony, at that blood of thine. Is Caesar's home maugre, else so thy cheek pays shame? When shrill-tongued Fulvia scolds. The messengers!
Let Roman tower melt, and the wide arch of the ranged empire fall. Here is my space. Kingdoms are clay, their dungy earth alike feeds beast as man, the nobleness of life, to do thus, when such is a mutual pair, and such a twain can do it, in which I bind, on pain of punishment, the world do weet, we stand up peerless.
Excellent falsehood. Why marry Fulvia and not love her? I'll seem the fool I am not, Antony. Will be himself.
Oh, be stirred by Cleopatra. Now, for the love of love and her soft hours, let's not confound the time with conference harsh. There's not a minute of our lives should stretch without some pleasure now. What sport tonight?
Hear the ambassadors.
Fie, wrangling queen, whom everything thus becomes, to chide, to laugh, to weep, whose very passion is fully strives to make itself in thee fair and admired? No messenger but thine, and all alone, tonight will wander through the streets and note the qualities of people. Ha ha! Come, my queen. Last night you did desire it. Speak not to us.
Is Caesar with Antonius prized so slight?
Sir, sometimes when he's not Antony, he comes too short of that great property which still should go with Antony.
Demetrius?
I am full sorry that he approves the common liar who thus speaks of him at Rome, but I will hope of better deeds tomorrow. Rest you happy.
All right, there we go with the very first. I welcome the two latecomers tonight. Leilani will be reading Cleopatra in the second half. We have a new reader, Gary Swanson. So ladies, you get see him there with a wave. And Una, there's Gary Swanson. There you go. All right. Now
Yay.
everybody knows everybody. Maybe. I would like for Una to give me the roles that you are playing tonight.
It's Octavia, Iris, and Gallus.
Gallus, yes. Good. And
Thank you.
our second half, Cleopatra, will be Leilani. Meanwhile, maybe sound effects. I don't know. All right. So here we are in scene 2. It's supposed in the same room.
Sorry to
Hello?
interrupt, Jim.
Yes.
I got a 40-minute thing.
Oh, that's right. And I did too. Yes. Okay. Okay. Here we go.
Lord Alexis, sweet Alexis, most anything Alexis, almost most absolute Alexis, where's the soothsayer that you praise so to the queen? Oh, that I knew this husband, which you say must charge his horns with garlands.
Alexis. Oh, soothsayer. Okay.
And then soothsayer. Your will.
Charmian.
Is this the man? Is it you, sir, that know things?
In nature's infinite book of secrecy, a little I can read.
And show him your hand.
Bring in the banquet. Bring in the banquet quickly. Wine enough, Cleopatra's health to drink.
Good sir, give me good fortune.
I make not, but foresee.
Pray then, foresee me one.
You shall be yet far fairer than you are.
He means in flesh.
No, you shall paint when you're old.
Wrinkles forbid.
Vex not his prescience. Be attentive.
Hush.
You shall be more beloving than beloved.
I'd rather heat my liver with drinking.
Nay, hear him.
Good now, some excellent fortune. Let me be married to 3 kings in an afternoon and widow them all. Let me have a child at 50, to whom Herod of Jewry may do homage. Bind me to marry me with Octavius Caesar and companion me with my mistress.
You shall outlive the lady whom you serve.
Oh, excellent. I love long life better than figs.
You have seen and proved a fairer former fortune than that which is to approach.
Then belike, my children shall have no names. Prithee, how many boys and wenches shall I have?
If every of your wishes had a womb, and fertile every wish, 1,000,000.
Out fool, I forgive thee for a witch.
You think none but your sheep are privy to your wishes.
Nay, come tell Iris hers.
We'll know all our fortunes. Mine and most of our fortunes tonight shall be drunk to bed.
There is a plum presage of chastity, if nothing else.
E'en as the overflowing Nilus presageth famine.
Go, you wild bedfellow, you cannot soothsay.
Nay, if an oily palm be not a fruitful prognostation, I cannot scratch mine ear. Prithee, tell her but a workaday fortune.
Your fortunes are alike.
But no, but how? Give me particulars.
I have said,
Am I not an inch of fortune better than she?
Well, if you were but an inch of fortune better than I, where would you choose it?
Not in my husband's nose.
Our worser thoughts heavens mend. Alexis, come, his fortune, his fortune. Oh, let him marry a woman that cannot go. Sweet Isis, I beseech thee, and let her die too, and give him a worse, and let worse follow worse, till the worst of all follow him laughing to his grave. 55 a cuckold. Good Isis, hear me this prayer. Though thou deny me a matter of more weight, good Isis, I beseech thee.
Amen, dear goddess. Hear the prayer of the people. For as it is heartbreaking to see a handsome man lose wives, so it is a deadly sorrow to behold a foul knave uncuckolded. Therefore, dear Isis, keep decorum and fortune him accordingly.
Amen.
Lo now, if it lay in their hands to make me a cuckold, they would make themselves whores, but they'll do it. Hush, there comes Antony.
Not he, the queen.
Saw you, my lord.
No, lady.
Was he not here?
No, madam.
He was disposed to mirth, but on the sudden a Roman thought hath struck him. Enobarbus,
Madam,
seek him and bring him hither. Where's Alexis?
here at your service, my lord approaches.
We will not look upon him. Go with us.
Ulva, thy wife first came into the field.
Against my brother Lucius.
Aye, but soon that war had end, and the time state made friends of them, jointing their force against Caesar, whose better issue in the war from Italy upon the first encounter drave them.
Well, what worse?
The nature of bad news infects the teller.
When it concerns the fool or coward, on. Things that are past are done with me. 'Tis thus. Who tells me true, though in his tale lie death? I hear him as he flattered.
Gabinius, in stiff news, hath with his Parthian force extended Asia from Euphrates, his conquering banner shook from Syria to Lydia and to Ionia, whilst
Antony, thou say.
Oh, my lord.
Speak to me home. Mince not the general tongue. Name Cleopatra as she is called in Rome. Rail them in Fulvius' phrase, and taunt my faults, which with such license as thou truth and malice have power to utter. Oh, then we bring forth weeds that quick winds lie still, and our ills told us, as is our caring. Fare thee well a while.
At your noble pleasure.
From Sion, how the news? Speak there.
Una?
Where?
The man from Sion, is there such a one? And second,
First attendant, yeah.
First attendant?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't know I was first attendant.
Okay.
Sorry.
He stays upon your will is the second one. And Antony again.
Well, let him appear. These strong Egyptian fetters I must break, or lose myself in dotage. What are you?
Una?
Fabula, thy wife is dead.
Where died she?
In Sicyon, her length of sickness, with what else more serious, imported thee to despairs.
Forbear me. There's a great spirit gone. Thus did I desire it. What our contempt doth often hurl from us, we wish it ours again. The present pleasure, by revolution lowering, thus become the opposite of itself. She's good, being gone. The hand would pluck her back that shoved her on. I must from this enchanting queen break off. 10,000 harms, more than the ills I know. my idleness doth hatch. How now, Inabarbus?
What's your pleasure, sir?
I must with haste from hence.
Why, then
We found out that Fulvia had died, and Cleopatra realizes that she has the chance to marry Mark Antony. So we'll go on to Act 1. Act 1. Scene 5. And it starts with Cleopatra and Charmian.
5 is in fingers.
Got it?
No. Ready?
Go.
Charmian,
Madam,
haha, give me to drink mandragora,
why, madam?
that I might sleep out of this great gap of time. My Antony is away.
You think of him too much.
Oh, 'tis treason.
Madam, I trust not so.
Thou eunuch Mardian.
What's your highness' pleasure?
Not now to hear thee sing. I take no pleasure in aught an eunuch has. 'Tis well for thee, that being unseminar'd, thy freer thoughts may not fly forth of Egypt. Hast thou affections?
Yes, gracious madam.
Indeed.
Not indeed, madam, for I can do nothing. But what indeed is honest to be done, yet I have fierce affections, and think what Venus did with Mars.
Oh, Charmian, where thinkst thou he is now? Stands he or sits he? Or does he walk? Or is he on his horse, or a happy horse, to bear the weight of Antony? Do bravely. Horse, or worst thou whom thou movest, the demi-atlas of this earth, the arm and bores not of men. He's speaking now, oh murmuring, where's my serpent of old Nile? For so he calls me, now I feed myself with most delicious poison. Think on me, that I am with Phoebus, amorous pinches black, and wrinkled deep in time, broad-fronted Caesar. When thou wast here above the ground, I was a morsel for a monarch, a great Pompey would stand and make his eyes grow in my brow. There would be he anchor his aspect and die with looking on his life.
Sovereign of Egypt, hail!
Sovereign of Egypt, hail!
How much unlike art thou, Mark Antony? Yet coming from him the great medicine hath, with his tinct gilded thee. He goes it with my brave Mark Antony.
Last thing he did, dear queen, he kissed the last of many double kisses and the Orient pearl. This speech sticks in my heart.
Mine ear must pluck it thence.
Good friend, quoth he, say the firm Roman is great Egypt's sins, this treasure of mystery, at whose foot to mend the pretty peasant present, I will piece her opulent throne with kingdoms. All the East, say thou, as shall call her mistress. So he nodded, and soberly did mourn an arm-gaunt steed, and who neighed so high that what I would have spoke was beastly dumbed by him.
What? Was he sad or merry?
Like to the time of the year between the extremes of hot and cold, he was not nor merry.
A well-divided disposition. Note him good, Charimon. 'Tis the man, but note him. He was not sad, for he would shine on those that make their looks by his. He was not merry, which seemed to tell him his remembrance lay in Egypt with his joy, but between both, O heavenly mingle, be'st thou sad or merry, the violence of either thee becomes, so does it not, no man else, mettest thou my posts.
Aye, madam, 20 several messengers. Why do you send so thick?
Who's born that day? When I forgot to send to Antony, shall die a beggar. Ink and paper, Charmian, welcome my good Alexis. Did I, Charmian, ever love Caesar so?
Oh, that brave Caesar.
Be choked with such another emphasis. Say the brave Antony.
The villain Caesar.
By Isis, I will give thee bloody teeth if thou.
Valiant, maybe?
Pardon? What?
Go ahead.
By Isis, I will give thee bloody teeth if thou with Caesar paragon again, my man of men.
By your most gracious pardon, I sing but after you.
My salad days, when I was green in judgment, cold in blood, you say as I said then, but come away, get me ink and paper. Ye shall have every day a several greeting, or I'll unpeople Egypt.
Now
Wow.
we're in Act
Wow.
2, Scene 1. We
That's
finally
power.
got there.
That's
Okay,
power.
Pompey and Menecrates and Manus in the warlike manner. I don't know what that means, but let's put on a warlike manner here. If the great gods be just, they shall assist the deeds of justice men. Menecrates? Anybody? Okay. Would you read it, please?
Act 1, Scene 2, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Act
No,
two,
Act
scene.
two.
Act two, scene one.
I'm sorry, yes.
Oh, worthy Pompey, that when they do delay, they will not deny.
Whilst we are suitors in their throne, decays the thing we sue for.
Jim, should I be Pompey and you be Menes?
You go ahead. I'm reading.
Pompey.
You're supposed to be reading Pompey. Okay, go ahead.
Whilst we are suitors to the throne, decays the thing we sue for.
We, ignorance of ourselves, beg often our own harms, which the wine powers deny us for our good, and to find we profit by losing of our prayers.
I shall well, do well. The people love me. The sea is mine. The powers are crescent, and my arguing hope says it will come to the full. Mark Antony in Egypt sits at dinner, and we will make no wars without doors. Caesar gets money where he loses hearts. Lepidus flatters both. Of both is flattered, but he neither loves nor either cares for him.
Caesar and Lepidus are in the field. A mighty strength they carry.
Where have you this? 'Tis false.
From Sylvia, sir.
He dreams. I know they are in Rome together, looking for Antony. But all the charms of love, salt Cleopatra, soften thy waned lip. Let witchcraft join thy with beauty, lust with both. Tie up the libertine in a field of feasts. Keep his brain fuming. Epicurean cooks sharpen with cloyless sauce his appetite, that sleep and feeding may prorogue his honor, until let its dullness.
Enter Varius. Who's reading Varius? God, there's so many people in this play. cast of thousands.
Is
Peter, why don't
somebody-
you jump in there? How now, Various? Somebody?
This is most
This
certain
is
that I
most
shall
certain that
deliver.
I shall deliver. Mark Antony is ever hour in Rome, expected since he went from Egypt. 'Tis a space for further travel.
I could have given less matter, a better ear. Venus, I did not think this amorous surfeiter would have donned his helm for such a petty war. His soldiership is twice the other twain. But let us rear the higher of our opinion, that our stirring can from the lap of Egypt's widow pluck the ne'er lust-wearied Antony.
I cannot hope Caesar and Antony shall well greet together. His wife, that's dead, did trespass to Caesar, and his brother warted upon him, although I think not moved by Antony.
I know not, meanest, how lesser enmities may give way to greater. 'Twere not that we stand up against them all. 'Twere pregnant that they should square between themselves, for they have entertained cause enough to draw their swords. But how the fear of us may cement their divisions and bind up the petty difference, we yet not know. Be it as our gods will have it. Only this stands our lives upon to use our strongest hands. Come, Minos.
Lepidus, Daniel.
Good Enobarbus, 'tis a worthy deed, and shall become you well, to entreat your captain to soft and gentle speech.
I shall entreat him to answer like himself. If Caesar move him, let Antony look over Caesar's head and speak as loud as possible. By Jupiter, were I the wearer of Antonius' beard, I would not shave today.
'Tis not a time for private stomaching.
Every time serves for the matter that is then born in it.
But small to greater matters must give way.
Not if the small come first.
Your speech is passion, but pray you, stir no embers up. Here comes the noble Antony.
Yonder.
If we compose well here, to Pathia, hark, Vendidius.
I do not know, Maecenas. Ask Agrippa.
Noble friends, that which combined us was most great, and let not a leaner action rend us. What's amiss may it be gently heard. When we debate our trivial differences loud, we do commit murder in healing wounds. Then, noble partners, the rather for I earnestly beseech, touch you the sourest points with sweetest terms, not curseness grow to the matter, nor curseness grow to the matter.
You've spoken well. Were we before our armies and to fight, I should do thus.
Welcome to Rome.
Well, thank you.
Sit.
Sir.
Nay then.
I learn you take things ill which are not so. On being concerned you not.
I must be laughed at, if for nothing or a little. I should say myself offended, and with you chiefly of the world more laughed at, that I should once name you derogatively
Good show.
derogatively when to sound your name. It not concerned me. I actually worked on that word.
Thou speakest well. My being in Egypt, Caesar, what was to you?
No more than my residing here at Rome might be to you in Egypt. Yet if you there did practice on my state, your being in Egypt might be my question.
Oh, well, how intend you practiced?
You may be pleased to catch at mine intent, but what did here befall me? Your wife and brother made wars upon me, and their contestation was theme for you. You were the word of war.
Do mistake your business, my brother. My brother never did urge me in his act. I did inspire it and inquire it, and having my learning from some true reports that drew their swords with you. Did he not rather discredit my authority with yours, and make the wars alike against my stomach, having alike your cause? Of this my letters before did satisfy you. If you'll patch a quarrel, as matter we will hold, you will have to make with, it must not be with this.
You praise yourself by laying defects of judgment to me, but you patched up your excuses.
Not so, not so. I know you could not lack, I am certain on't, very necessity of this thought, that I, your partner in the cause against which he fought, could not with graceful eyes attend these wars which fronted mine own peace. As for my wife, I would you had her spirit in such another. The third of the world is yours, which with a small snaffle you may with pace easy, but not such a wife.
Would we had all such wives that the men might go to wars with the women.
So much uncurbable her garboils. Caesar, make one of her impatience, which not waited, showness of policy too. I grieving granted you too much disquiet. For that you must say, I could not help it.
I wrote to you when rioting in Alexandria. You did pocket up my letters, and with taunts did jibe my missive out of audience.
Sir, he fell upon you, admitted then, 3 kings I had newly feared, and did want of what I was in the morning, but next day I told him of myself, which was as much as to have asked him pardon. Let this fellow be nothing of our strife. If we contend, out of one of our question, wipe him.
You have broken the article of your oath, which you shall never have tongue to charge with me with.
Soft, Caesar.
No, Lepidus, let him speak. The honor is sacred, which he talks on now. Supposing that I lacked it. But on, Caesar, the article of my oath.
To lend me arms and aid when I required them, the which you both denied.
Neglected rather. And then when poisoned hours have bound me up from mine own knowledge, as neatly as I may, I play the penitent to you, but mine honesty shall not make poor my greatness, nor my power work without it. Truth is that Fulvia, to have me out of Egypt, made wars here, for which myself, the ignorance motive, do so far as pardon as befits mine honor to stoop to such a case.
Is nobly spoken.
If it might please you, to enforce no further the griefs between ye, to forget them quite, were to remember that they were present need, speaks to atone you.
Worthily spoken, Maecenas.
Or if you borrow one another's love for the instant, you may, when you hear no more words of Pompey, return it again. You shall have time to wrangle in when you have nothing else to do.
Thou art a soldier only, speak no more.
That truth should be silent. I had almost forgot.
You wrong this presence, therefore speak no more.
Go to then, your considerate stone.
I do not much dislike the matter, but the manner of his speech. For it cannot be we shall remain in friendship, our conditions so differing in their acts. Yet if I knew what hoop should hold as staunch from edge to edge of the world, I would pursue it.
Give me leave, Caesar.
Speak, Agrippa.
Is there somebody else?
Thou hast a sister by thy mother's side, admired Octavia. Great Mark Antony is now a widower.
Say not so, Agrippa. If Cleopatra heard you, your reproof were well deserved of rashness.
I am not married, Caesar. Let me hear Agrippa further speak.
To hold you in perpetual amity, to make you brothers, and to knit your hearts with an unslipping knot, take Antony Octavia to his wife, and whose beauty claims no worse a husband than the best of men, and of whose virtue and whose general graces speak that would none else can utter. By this marriage, all little jealousies which now seem great, and all great fears which now import their dangers, were then be nothing, truths be tales, and were now half tales be truths. Her love to both would each to other, and all loves to both draw after her. Pardon what I have spoke, 'tis a studied, not a present thought, by duty ruminated.
Will Caesar speak?
Not till he hears how Antony is touched with what is spoke already.
The power is in Agrippa. If I would say, Agrippa, he is, be it so, to make this good.
The power of Caesar and his power unto Octavia.
May I never, to this good purpose that was so fairly shown, dream of impediment. Let me have thy hand further of this act of grace, and from this hour, the heart of brothers govern in our loves, and sway our great designs.
There's my hand. A sister I bequeath you, whom no brother did ever love so dearly. Let her live to join our kingdoms and our hearts, and never fly off our loves again.
Happily, amen.
I did not think to draw upon my sword against Pompey, for he hath laid strange courtesies and great of late upon me. I must thank him only, lest my remembrance suffers ill report. At heel of that, defy him.
Time calls upon us. Of us must Pompey presently be sought, or else he seeks us out.
Where lies he?
About the Mount Messena.
What is his strength by land?
Great and increasing, but by sea he is an absolute master.
So is the fame. Would we had spoken together! Haste we for it. Yet ere we put ourselves in arms, dispatch we the business we have talked of.
With most gladness, and to invite you to my sister's view, whither straight I'll lead you.
Let us, Lepidus, let not lack your company.
Noble Antony, not sickness should detain me.
Welcome from Egypt, sir.
Half the heart of Caesar, worthy Maecenas, my honorable friend Agrippa.
Good anal barbus. Oh, Maecenas, we have cause to be glad that your martyrs are so well digested. You're stayed well by it in Egypt.
Aye, sir, we did sleep day out of countenance and made the night light with drinking.
8 wild boars roasted whole at a breakfast, and but 12 persons were there. Is this true?
This was but as a fly by an eagle, We had much more monstrous matter of feast, which worthily deserved nothing.
Aha. And then she's a most triumphant lady, if report be square to her.
When she first met Mark Antony, she pursed up his heart upon the river of Sidmouth.
Aha. And there she appeared instead, or my reports are devised well for her.
I will tell you, the barge she sat in, like a burnished throne, burned on the water. The poop was beaten gold, purple sails, and so perfect that the winds were loud. The oars were silver, which to the tune of flutes kept stroke, and made the water which they beat to follow faster, as amorous of their strength. For her own person, it beggared all description. She did lie in her pavilion, cloth of gold, of tissue, or picturing that Venus where we see the frank outward nature. On each side there stood pretty dimpled board, like smiling cupids with diverse colored fans, whose wind did glow the delicate cheek which they did cool, and what they undid.
Oh, rare for Antony.
Her gentle woman, like the Nereides, so many mermaids, turned her the eyes, made their bend adorn. At the helm, a seeming mermaid. The silken tackles swell with the touches of those flowers soft hands, yearly framed beyond. From the barge, a strange, invisible perfume hits the sense of the adjacent water. The city cast her people out upon her, and Antony, enthroned in the marketplace, did sit alone, whistling to the air, which, but for vacancy, had gone to gaze on Cleopatra too, and made a gap in nature.
Rare Egyptian.
Upon her landing, Antony sent to her, invited her to stop. She replied, it should be better he became her guest, which she entreated. Our courteous Antony, who ne'er the word of no woman heard speak, being barbered 10 times o'er, goes to the street, and for his ordinary pays his part for what his eyes don't.
And she was royal wench. She made great Caesar lay his sword to bed. He plowed her, and she cropped.
I saw her once hop 40 paces through the public street, and having lost her breath, she spoke and panted that she did make defect perfection, and breathless power breathed forth.
And now Antony must leave her utterly.
Never, he will not. Age cannot wither her, nor custom stale her infinite variety. Other women cloy the appetites they feed, but she makes hungry when most she satisfies. For vilest things become themselves in her, that the holy priest bless her when she's rigid.
If beauty, wisdom, modesty can settle the heart of Antony, Octavia is a blessed lottery to him. Let us go, good Enobarbus. Make yourself my guest while you abide here.
Humbly, sir, I thank